What if I told you that one of the most celebrated stories of our time, a billionaire's journey to space, might have been more illusion than achievement? Imagine cheering for humanity's leap into the stars, only to discover it was a carefully orchestrated performance. This is the story of the billionaire who faked space travel inside the Virgin Galactic deception. Richard Branson, the daredevil billionaire behind the Virgin Empire, sold us the dream of turning ordinary people into astronauts. He promised the ultimate luxury adventure. Float above Earth, witness its curve, feel weightless for a few glorious minutes. He wasn't just selling tickets, he was selling the future. And we believed him. Because Branson wasn't just a businessman, he was a brand. He'd already conquered air, sea, and sound. Space seemed like the next logical step. Hundreds of hopefuls paid nearly $450,000 each to secure their spot among the stars. It was thrilling, futuristic, and incredibly profitable. But behind the sparkle was a darker story. In 2014, a Virgin Galactic test flight broke apart mid-air. One pilot was killed, another was seriously injured. It was a tragic reminder that space isn't forgiving, even for billionaires. Still, Branson didn't stop. He promised redemption, safer ships, stronger design, bigger dreams. The next launch, he said, would prove Virgin Galactic was unstoppable. Fast forward to July 2021. Millions tuned in to see Branson's triumphant flight aboard the VSS Unity. The media called it the dawn of commercial space travel. Branson emerged grinning in zero gravity, the ultimate pioneer. But soon, questions began. That cinematic footage of him biking to the launch site, pre-recorded. The altitude the ship reached, about 80 kilometers, above the US definition of space, yes, but below the international Kármán line of 100 kilometers. So technically, did he go to space? Well, that depends who you ask. And that's where the illusion begins. For a company built entirely on space tourism, those missing 20 kilometers mattered. It wasn't just a gap in distance, it was a gap in truth. Soon after, Virgin Galactic faced turbulence when shareholders accused Branson and his team of misleading investors. They claimed the company downplayed technical problems, exaggerated progress, and cashed out stock while hype was at its peak. In plain English, they sold the dream while knowing the rocket was struggling. Yet the marketing kept flying higher than the planes. The promo videos, the emotional speeches, the space for everyone slogans, all carefully designed to keep the fantasy alive. And we bought it because we love heroes, we love firsts, and we really love billionaires who promise to take us along for the ride. But here's the harsh truth. Virgin Galactic's flights were repeatedly delayed, its stock crashed, and its credibility with investors evaporated. While the cameras showed the future, the company was quietly grounded. This isn't just about one man or one failed flight. It's about how easily belief can be engineered. We humans crave progress stories. We want to be part of history, to feel like we're living in extraordinary times. And that emotional pull makes us vulnerable, not just to billionaires, but to anyone who knows how to sell hope in shiny packaging. Let's get real for a second. Building spacecraft is brutally hard. NASA spent decades and billions achieving what Virgin Galactic tried to compress into a marketing campaign. So when a private company says it can do it faster, cheaper, and safer, skepticism isn't negativity, it's common sense. But this wasn't just a technical deception. It was psychological. It played on our fascination with success stories and our desire to believe in pioneers. When you see a billionaire floating above Earth, it feels like a win for all of us, even if the truth is floating a little lower. You might ask, does any of this really matter? Isn't ambition worth celebrating, even if it's exaggerated? Sure. But when investors lose millions, when employees dedicate years chasing a promise, and when science becomes show business, honesty stops being optional. Because truth, like gravity, always pulls us back down. So, what should you watch for next time a billionaire claims to have changed the world? First, look at the data, altitude, time, results, not the cinematic version. Second, follow the money trail. Who profits when the story goes viral? And third, ask about accountability. Who takes responsibility when things fail? If those answers are vague or delayed, that's your red flag. You're not watching progress, you're watching PR. And let's be honest, this pattern isn't limited to space. From crypto booms to AI revolutions, we keep seeing the same playbook: big promises, massive funding, and inevitable disappointment. It's a cycle powered by hype and hope, and it repeats because we let it. But you can break that cycle by asking better questions. Because real progress doesn't need spectacle. It needs transparency, data, and humility. Maybe Branson didn't set out to deceive anyone. Maybe he truly believed in his mission. But the line between belief and illusion is thin, and when billions are at stake, that line must never blur. The greatest deception wasn't that he faked space travel. It's that we accepted the story without demanding proof. We wanted the dream so badly that we stopped checking the facts. And that's why this story matters. Because the next space pioneer, or tech savior, will use the same formula: charisma, storytelling, and spectacle. They'll make you feel like part of history, and you'll be tempted to believe again. But remember, truth isn't found in headlines or hero shots. It's found in data, accountability, and results that withstand scrutiny. At the end of the day, the final frontier isn't outer space, it's truth itself. And in a world full of billion-dollar illusions, defending that truth might be humanity's greatest mission yet. If you've made it this far, you're part of that mission. Here on Truvo, we expose the hidden truths behind money, power, and influence. The stories that shape our world, but rarely make the front page. So if you want to keep seeing investigations like this one, subscribe, like this video, and turn on notifications so you never miss what's next. Because the next story we're working on might make this one look tame. This is Truvo, where truth travels faster than rockets. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and remember, sometimes the biggest space journey happens right here on Earth.